Hi.
Hey,
What's
Trent.
up? What's up? What's up? Everybody that's logging in, please share. Please share.
So how are we gonna see people on here?
Oh, you can see the comments.
Can you? I can't see them.
There's something on the
Boys
side.
coming in now. I'm great up. Here we go.
Hey, Troy.
Hey Troy.
Hey, Jason.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? We are here, guys.
Hey, hey, hey.
We are here with three wonderful, outstanding people. Just do me a favor, guys, and make sure you share this. Make sure you share this. Share this. We have some awesome, outstanding people with us today. So make sure y'all share this. Can't wait to get this conversation started today. Thank you all that's logging in. We have the Ayana George with us today.
Hi.
We have,
Don't say that.
and I don't use this next term loosely, we have a veteran with us today.
Oh yes.
He's a veteran in the game. Mr. Troy Bright is with us today. Yeah. And then we have the, come on, come on.
Don't kill me, please. Not today.
We have the Travis Taylor. Guys, I'm excited about our guest today for a number of reasons. I think you'll find out once they begin to speak and share their insight and knowledge on life, on music, on artistry, on being entrepreneurs, using their creativity to give way to their dreams. Guys, these we are talking to people today who are living their dreams, and I appreciate them for consenting to being on today. Thank you for logging in. Please share, please share. Appreciate all of you. Hey babe, the wife is on. Thanks for logging in. Always like to give a shout out to God and to the lady in my life.
Come
Amen.
on, Shakira.
Amen.
Come on. But
Sister Moody.
Sister Moody, that was churchy, Troy. But guys, again, man, we are truly excited. We are truly excited. I'm excited to have you guys. I know we celebrated Trav's birthday last week, and
Yeah.
we were all shout out to Trav celebrating his birthday, and we all had a great time that night. But it was just so much said, and I'm like, yo, this can't stay within the confines of this group. There are a ton of people that need to hear your wisdom, your experience, your testimonies, so that they can, be all that God designed for them to be, and to, pursue their dreams at all costs. Pursue their dreams at all costs. So let's get started. Any one of you can start, but just what? Let's start with Ayana. Ladies first. Ayana, just give us a little background about you, your upbringing, how you got started with music. Just a little bit. Let the world know.
Okay. Well, I grew up in the Bronx, New York, the Boogie Down.
Yeah.
I am one of five. Well, it's more than it's like about 9 of us all together.
Wow.
Like a Brady Bunch situation where my mom had kids before she met my dad. My dad had kids before he met my mom, and then they had me and my little brother. So I'm the next to youngest, and I'm the only one that sings, which is just crazy.
Wow.
But growing up, we were not a church-going family. We went to church like on Easter, like most people.
Yeah.
But then I came to the Lord at 16 years old, and that was really the beginning of everything for me. That was the beginning of life for me.
Wow.
Yeah. How did I get started in singing? I think my first professional session, I was 19 years old. That was only like 10 years ago.
Come on here, come on.
But I was 19, and when I walked in, Kelly Price was in the room. This was way before she was Kelly Price. Melanie Daniels was in the room.
Right.
Before she was Melanie Daniels. So it just goes to tell you the caliber of talent that I was surrounded by and inspired by. And I don't even know how to explain it. It seemed like one door just kind of led to another. I started singing with Daryl Douglas and friends, and then it parlayed into singing with C.D. Hawkins, which came about because of dear, beautiful Ron Grant, God rest his soul. That man, he had such impact on me and so many others. So many of us can attest to that. But he honestly was responsible for my first recording, my first actual recording with Troy Bright.
Come on here.
C.D. Hawkins and Singers. And from there, it was just, it's so much. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time.
Yeah.
But I went from there to singing with, many gospel artists. And in 2015, it took a shift when I started singing with Jasmine Sullivan. And that's when I came on to the secular side. And as of late, I sing with John Legend. And I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, we did. We're gonna get into that a little bit. Shout out to Jay King, Tim Arrington, definitely Keisha Corbett. Shout out to you guys. Jay King said he love you guys.
Love you,
Keisha. Keisha, I love you, Keisha.
We're gonna go to Travis next. We're gonna go to the baby of the bunch today. Trav, let's give a little bit, man. Give a little bit about the background, bro.
How you guys doing? I started singing probably around the age of 4 or 5 or so. My father, he wanted me and my sister, I guess, to be the new BB and CC. So me and my sister used to sing, and she actually used to keep me together. I was the one all, a mess, and she would be looking at me like, that's not the note. So he had us doing duets and etc. And my father, him not being, as they say, a real singer, he was a drummer. But he really instilled in us. He saw the talent, and he just pushed me forward. And then eventually my sister got a little older and she didn't want to sing anymore. She got too cute. And so my father was like, no, but boy, you gonna sing. You gonna keep singing. And I just sang throughout church. My grandfather was a pastor, and I sang in the choir throughout those years, and on the praise team and etc. like that. My father used to always send me Brian Wilson. Back in the day, he was a child star, and he was like, you got to sing like him. You got to sing like him. So Brian Wilson was definitely a big influence as a child, a male singer as a child. And then
definitely see that.
I started singing with J. Michael and W2. That was the first group I ever sang with, and it was so crazy because I spoke it. I remember hearing him sing with Natalie Wilson and SOP singing Let's Talk About Jesus. And I was so inspired. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to sing with this man one day. And so happened he heard me sing one day and asked me to be a part of his group. And that was really probably like the first time that I recorded a full album with the group. And it was such an amazing experience being with him. And then I think after that, I probably sang, background for a few people.
Yeah.
And then I started singing with HGC. I think that was my next professional gig. And we toured overseas often. And then after that, I auditioned, sang for Tamar Braxton, Queen Latifah, and now I'm a Kurt Carr singer. So that's
right.
That's the journey.
You had your stint with reality TV, so you're like a reality star, right?
Huh? No.
Get them moves right, Travis. Get them moves right.
2 times, actually.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, guys, we have the veteran of the group. As Ayana mentioned, when she got started, he was already doing it. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Troy Bright. Troy, what's up, man? Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My background, upbringing, I grew up in church. I was a pew baby. From the time I was on this planet, I was in the church, and I've been in ever since. My mother would not have it any other way. My father became a pastor when I was about 8 years old, and that was my church home. And I gotta be honest, I think everything I learned about music, while I didn't have a lot of mentors outside of the church, my mother was definitely a pusher. She didn't give me a lot of instruction, but she pushed me. She was a singer herself, and not anything professional or anything like that, but always in church, always with the harmonic solo before my father got up to preach, that type of thing. And eventually, she started pushing me out into something that I didn't know I could even do.
Wow.
But apparently, she saw the vision, and she just made me do it. And it's like I learned as I went. Of course, with God's help, He taught me a lot in the church. Everything I understand came from that foundation, been pushed out there. I think I want to go back to what Ayana said. I think what Jason said with the whole CD Hawkins thing, I think that was probably my first real professional situation.
Wow.
And I did that recording with Clifford. I'm sorry, he don't probably want me to say that. CD Hawkins. We're not going to call him by his real name, by his government name. But anyway, yeah, that was my first real experience professionally, and I gotta go back and just say, listening to Ayana sing with CD Hawkins distracted everybody. Every time she got in the microphone, I promise you, it was like we supposed to be singing background to her lead, and CD had to tell us repeatedly, okay, y'all can't stop singing to hear what she's doing, but she would slay us like that every time. So it would be like, oh my God, this girl.
I was trying to be like y'all. I was stopping.
She's been doing it for years.
It was all about Ayana. It was all about Ayana. I promise you. It was great though. Since then, I think it was not long after that I just did some things with Bishop Hezekiah Walker. He worked with me with the ensemble that he had put together. I forgot what the name of the ensemble was.
Love Unlimited.
Love Unlimited.
Love Unlimited. Yeah, that's what that was it. Thank you. I'm sorry. Love Unlimited. Did you do that too, Ayana?
I was there. Yes.
Okay, so we were there, and they didn't really do anything Love Unlimited on any recordings until I think it was what was it, Family Affair?
Was that the Oh I Feel Jesus?
Yes. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Me. Come on, somebody. Yeah.
It was good. It was a great experience learning with Bishop Walker. Bishop Walker is a great man, and I have to say this: he has had such an impact on my life. Has taken time and shown so much love to. He's like that with everybody, but just he has shown so much love to me. Coming from Jersey too, and you know how New York can be with that. But
come on.
He was.
Whoa, we're starting early.
Yes. He did. He welcomed this piece of Jersey with open arms, and it was really good. I think from there I started at some point, not long after that, I started singing with Donnie McClurkin, just after his Stand project had been released, and he had gathered a group of singers together, most of us from Jersey actually. And we were doing that, me and Sherry McGee and Vincent Freeman, Nancy Jackson, and of course his two sisters, Andrea and Peanut. But and then at some point while I was singing with Donnie, I got connected to Kurt Carr, and I've been with him ever since. It's a great experience. And we welcome our new baby, Travis Taylor.
Come on here. Yo, man, that's amazing
He's so
stuff.
talented.
That's amazing stuff. Your journey just speaks to how important it is to get the right foundation and build and be around the right people. And when you start moving out, doors will open. Yeah. Some people wait for somebody to come knocking on your door, but it's not until you step out, insecure, flawed, and all, that you really begin to see things open. So I gotta ask you guys a question, because there are a lot of people out here who may feel something, or a lot of people out here may be thinking about something. When did you know this was your it moment, or this was your it thing when it came to singing? And we'll move into some of the other things that you guys do as well, because you're not just one dimensional. But as it pertains to like this part of you, like, when was that moment you're like, you know what, I think I can do this? It's for anybody.
I have a story. I'll try not to make it too long, but it was an extremely pivotal moment for me in my singing career. And I don't even want to say singing career, because singing for me is more than just singing. It is literally my oxygen. So wow. I was singing background for Judith Christie McAllister, for the Raise the Praise recording. And she had a song called The Joy of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And in rehearsals, every time she would sing this song, I would end up on the floor, like just out. We already know how anointed she is. And the minute she opens her mouth, the heavens open, and the shofar is blown. Right. We don't even know where the shofar came from, but it's there. And she would always just take me in with this one song. And the Holy Spirit told me, prepare, you're going to sing on that song. And I'm like, nah, that can't be right. Because, when you hear God, you're always struggling with yourself a little bit, because you think it's you. So I need to make sure this is not my head, and this is really the voice of the Lord. But being obedient, I started to prepare. So I'm looking up scriptures about the joy of the Lord, and I'm praying, and I'm just waiting, wanting revelation. And I'm like, God, really? And every time we were in rehearsal, afterwards, he would let me know, you're going to sing on this song. The night came of the recording, and as we were about to go out, we were at West Angeles, and as we were about to go out, Judy comes to me and she says, I want you to sing on and in my head, I'm going, the joy of the Lord, the joy of the Lord. And she goes, the joy of the Lord. So I'm like, okay, Jesus, right? I'm tripping now, because I'm like, oh God, I really do hear you. So the time comes, fast forward, she starts the song, and she breaks it down, and she says, introducing Melanie Daniels. So Melanie comes out, and I'm like, woo, thank you, Jesus. I'm right? So Melanie comes out, kills, slays as usual. And then she gives the mic back to Judy, and Judy says, welcome, introducing Ayana George. So I'm like, oh my God, my heart is like in my feet, and I'm just a scared wreck. But I'm going to do what God said do. So as I'm walking out, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to sing. The Lord is just saying, tell your story. I'm not going to cry. So he just starts saying, tell your story. And I literally started to testify in song. Everything that I said, I was singing my testimony to the congregation. Wow. And before I knew it, I was on my knees. I was singing on my knees on the floor. And it was such a breakthrough moment for me, but I didn't realize that it was also a breakthrough moment for people that were out there as well. Wow. I don't know if anyone, any of you out there were there that night, because it was some time ago, but it's a night I will never, ever forget. Wow. Because in that moment, I knew that it was definitely more it was more than having a voice. It was having a purpose. It was having a feeling. It was making a difference and having an impact. And for me, that meant everything. For God to trust me and to think that much of me, to use me in that way, in that moment. Afterwards, so many people came to me and literally breaking down, telling, I'm dealing with this issue, or I have AIDS. Like, there were people coming to me that literally were suffering with terminal illnesses, that were saying how they felt, strong, and they felt like they could go on. And it was just,
it was your moment. It was the moment. That was your moment.
It was a pivotal moment where I knew, like, this is so much more than what I thought. And it just opened me up to the Lord's, to the leading of his spirit. When I open my mouth to sing, it's not about riffing or running or impressing anybody. It's really just leaving a mark and leaving a deposit. I want people to be able to go away with something. And I'm thankful that I know him the way I do, and that he chooses to use me like he does. I'm just grateful for that.
We're gonna come back to you. We're gonna come back into you, because you tapped into something when you said this is not just about singing for you, but it's your purpose.
Yeah.
And I think that thing needs to be brought out a little bit. Troy, what was your moment? You talked about your mother pushing you. Well, what was the moment you said, you know what, Troy, you got this. I'm anointed for this? Because I know when I first heard you, I want to say it was Awesome Wonder. It's like, wow, how clean, how precise, strong. It was powerful, because it wasn't a lot of the, it was, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro,
flat
it
foot.
was it. So what was your it moment, Troy? Or what was your it moment?
And I don't have this wonderful testimony like Ayana had. Mine was a little more, probably. I was very young, and I was in high school, as a matter of fact. But there was this talent show happening at my high school, and I brought my sisters with me, and we did a song, and in response to that, there was a worship that went on and that took place that used us to invoke at that moment, and also they enjoyed the song, but
Go ahead.
I think that was the moment I realized that, you know what, I think, and I know really that this is what I've been called to do. Wow. And it's not just about, I think a lot of people don't understand too, I don't really always go by my own vocals, because while I do sing and I'm a soloist and I can do the solos, I think just doing music in general was what I understood. This is what I need to be doing. Working with other singers, working with groups, working with choirs. That was what I knew I was supposed to do at that point. And it sounds kind of maybe juvenile, but it was in that moment that I knew that something was going on. Everything that my mother had instilled in me coming to fruition at that point.
Yo, that's good stuff, because I need somebody to hear that Troy recognized it at a very young age. And I think so many of us try to wait until whatever comes, or whatever age we think is appropriate. But at a young age, he knew, and at a young age, he was able to provoke the presence of God. And it was at that moment that, he said he started to recognize at a very young age. So if you have any children out there who you recognize something in them very, very young, Travis talked about it with him and his sister. Yo, you recognize something, make sure you invest.
Yes.
You invest. Okay, church terms, you sow.
Yes.
make sure you invest. And I know it seems like they're going through a bunch of instruments, they're doing a bunch of trainings, but please do me a favor and make sure you invest. Let them see that you're paying attention to what they're attracted to. That's good for them. That's good. That's good. Troy, thank you. Trav, what's up, bro? When did you know? Wait, Trav, have you ever had a 9 to 5?
I have.
Okay.
I have multiple.
Now, okay, to your answer. Now go ahead to your answer.
I think I recognized at a young age that I was called to do this. Like I was telling you before, I really didn't have a choice to sing. It was not an option. Many children have options these days on what they want to do, where they want to go. That just was not the generation or the parents that I was raised under. You did what you were told. And after a while, it just was like, this is me. The craziest thing is I played sports. I played basketball. No, not basketball. I played football. I did soccer. I did baseball. I did wrestling. I did track. I did all of these things, and my father kept me very active. My mom and dad kept me very active. And guess what? I would play football on Sunday and be right at church, get in the bathroom, change my football cleats out, and get right in the choir stand. So that was just life. It wasn't missing church like that. That wasn't it. And so I just knew at a young age that sports really wasn't my thing. That's not really what God called me. My uncle was in the NFL. So they were like pushing for me, because I was the oldest grandson at the time. So they were pushing for me to follow in his footsteps. But that just wasn't where my heart was. And I remember one day in Sunday school, they asked the question, to all the young kids. They said, what do you want to be, when you grow up? And I was like, I'm going to be a famous singer. I'm going to travel the world. I'm going to be, in Russia. I'm going to be in China. And that's just the way my life is going to
Come
be
on,
set up.
Prophet.
Everybody. Right.
and my father, I promise you, my father and them can say it. I remember answering the phone one day when I was young, and they'd be like, Travis, I'm like, oh, London. They was like, stop playing. And I was young. And I was like, I'm going to be there one day. I promise you, I'm going to get there. So I already knew at a young age, what I saw. I saw where I would be. I saw what God had for me.
Good stuff.
And craziest thing is, I thought I would be there quicker. I thought that the journey wouldn't be too far off because I had been singing for so long already. I was already a teenager by now. I'm like, okay, what's happening? And my father, just a quick story about him. He invested in me so much still at a teenage age. I would go to football practice, and then we would have our last game on Saturday. He flew me to Colorado to audition for American Idol. He flew me here to audition for Sunday's Best. So it was a continuous thing. And the craziest thing, I had so much adversity. I would get to a certain point and then fail. I would get to the executive producers and then not make the show. And that happened on Sunday's Best. I think I was around 1920. I think me and Ayana were auditioning that same day. I don't know if you remember.
Oh my God, of course I remember. That was a crazy day for me too.
That was a crazy day.
Yeah.
And they kept adding more rounds to the actual competition. They said you had like 3 or 4 rounds to pass. And we got to like the 6th round. And it was like midnight. They were packing the stuff up and they were still adding more rounds. And I remember Stanley Brown coming in because I think he was the producer that year. And he said, don't go in there riffing and running. Just sing the melody and, sing the song, sing the melody, etc. And I remember Kim Burrell giving me a yes, Donna giving me a yes, and Tina saying no. And so at this point, I was crushed. Like, because I had done so many auditions. I've done so many things. And I'm like, I can't even make it in a gospel competition. Like, it's the end. Like, I'm done. And so then I actually was like, you know what? It's all right because I'm going to get exposure because I'm going to be on the show. And I know I sounded good. And I know they're going to air it. I know I sounded good. And the craziest thing is how they aired it was as if I walked in to sing and I started singing and Donnie told me to stop. and he said, "Thank you." And they showed me walking off. So it was as if I sounded a mess and he didn't want me to sing anymore.
Ooh.
And when I tell you, my feelings were crushed. People that I knew from
Wow.
Jersey were laughing at me. They were posting about it. It was such a humbling, embarrassing moment.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. Jesus.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was such an
Couldn't either.
embarrassing, humbling moment for me. Because I know I had sounded good, but how they edited the show. So that
Wow.
was my first reality TV experience. And
Wow. This is good,
so,
Trav. You helping somebody today. You
Very
helping.
good.
and so I literally right. Hello. And so I literally didn't want to even sing anymore. I didn't want to go audition anymore. I didn't want to do anything really, just be regular. I was like, well, I guess I'll go finish college. I guess, this is the end. And the craziest thing is a friend of mine from New York. Well, he's from Jersey rather, but he did a lot of work in New York, named David Jackson. And he hit me up and said, Trav, I know you're a little down right now, but I have an opportunity for you. Come audition. I was like, nah, I'm not auditioning. And ever since, I've been on the go. So that was just my moment. Like God said, I haven't forgotten about you, because those who laughed, those who mocked you, those who posted about you, no shade, they're at the house and now you're in Europe. So, that was literally my moment of, okay, this is my purpose. That just wasn't my avenue. That wasn't my time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. While we're there, let's deviate. Ayana, I just want to touch base with you a little quick. So Trav talked about that moment. For you, we had a conversation about a little over a year ago at Jacksonville. You were about to do a show, and you were asked to do an audition for another artist, and I believe it was John Legend. You were going to do. Share with us about that experience, because here's how I'm looking at it. You're already on the road with Jasmine, and you're killing the road. You're already doing your thing, but now where you are, you're asked to audition. What was the mindset of that? Like, where were you? What was happening? What actually made you or pushed you to or actually audition?
Well, I wasn't asked to audition. He had an open call, and it was posted on Instagram, and about 7 people sent the photo to me. I saw it as well.
Right.
But I saw it and I kept scrolling because I didn't think that was something that I could do. As I said, I got it 7 times. People sent it to me. And finally, I was just like, you know what? This is something that I've never really done before. I'm a little scared to do it. So I'm going to go do it. 2017 was the year that I decided I was going to do everything I was afraid of. Whatever made me fearful, I was going to go toward it instead of away from it.
Yeah.
That was one of the first things that year. I went to the open call, and I merely went just to prove to myself that I could. I wasn't even going to try to get the gig. I was going to do what I was afraid of.
Yeah.
And went in, sang the song, and when I got the call back, that's when it all shifted. And I said, okay, I want this. I want this. So I pulled myself together, put my good girl on, because I knew that I would probably be the oldest one in the room. I knew I would probably be the thickest one in the room.
Come on.
I had a short natural then, and God knows I love my natural hair. I love my natural hair. I love natural hair, period. But it's not the most popular in the industry. Let's be real. So I'm like, I got this little short afro, and I got this gap in my teeth, and I'm brown, and I'm thinking of all these reasons why they won't pick me.
Yeah.
But sometimes the thing that you think counts you out is what causes you to stand out.
Wow, good stuff.
Not to mention, I think I'm kind of good at what I do. I ain't saying I'm the best. I think I'm all right. So honestly, I went in there with a purpose to get this job and to prove to myself that I could do what I was afraid of, and that I really was good. It really it boosted my confidence in myself, and just knowing that I could conquer fear. Fear is so it was such a big thing in my life. Like, no was always fear was always my first response. I was always, the minute you asked me to do something, oh, can you come sing? Oh, no, I can't, you know, oh, I don't feel so good. Or I would find all kinds of excuses because I was afraid. It had nothing to do with nothing but fear. And that was the year that I just was like, I'm tired of being scared and I need to know what's on the other side of this. And when you life, so much life, that life more abundantly that Christ spoke of was on the side of fear. So yeah, I went for it. And when I got the call, I was actually about to go into worship, and Eugene Roberts, shouts to I don't know if he's watching, but amazing MD. He called right as I was about to go into worship and said, you know, welcome to the family. And
what?
I was just floored. And he said flat out, like, you were the first one he chose.
Wow.
So, yeah. That's a huge, huge, huge moment for me. Wow. It really has changed my life in so many ways.
Yo, that's good stuff, man. Listen, somebody needed to hear that today, because somebody, actually, for you guys to go back to back like that, somebody needed to hear that, because we don't deal well with what we would say rejection or fear. When things happen, many of us shut down.
Yeah.
Many of us isolate ourselves, and even go beyond the point that Travis said of, you know, just how he was feeling. It was like these feelings carry out into actions.
Yes.
You know, to be displayed. Trav, I mean, I don't remember everything around that time, but I mean, you could have went on a rant and like started going after everybody that was coming after you and damaged your name and damaged your character, you know. But we see how when you keep moving, and when you know that you've been called to something, and it's more than just singing for you guys. This is, as Ayana started out saying, this is life. Music, Troy talked about it. Music is, you know, him. Like, it's not just something I do, but it's me, and it brings me. The thing that I like about it is that when you guys do it, you feel that sense of purpose, because so many people are talented, but they don't have purpose. And so they're doing it, not realizing that it's more powerful than what they're actually presenting.
Yeah.
So man, that's amazing. That's really, really good. Man, anybody got anything to chime in right now? Good? Like, anybody want to chime in on something?
Okay, well, okay. I just kind of wanted to piggyback off of what Travis was saying, because I've been in this a long time, and every time I think about it, it blows my mind that I'm actually still doing this, because it's been a really long time. And I tried to, you know, enter into the gospel music industry, and it didn't go the way that I wanted, but that didn't stop me. That didn't stop me from continuing to move forward, because I knew that what I was doing was beyond, it was bigger than me. And it really was a reflection of my relationship with God and his purpose for my life. So being rejected shouldn't stop you from carrying out his purpose, because it really is. It isn't about you. There's a much bigger picture. So I just wanted to encourage anybody that has, you know, hit a brick wall or been told no, or hasn't fit into the group that they wanted to be a part of. You know, don't stop, because God has a lane that is designated just for you, and you can ride that thing till the wheels fall off.
Yeah, absolutely. Gonna ride till I can't no more. What'd you say, Troy?
Just from a more practical sense, also, because Ayana has given you absolutely, this is the spiritual part of this, but just from a practical standpoint, that's part of the industry. That's just how it works. I mean, you're not going to be accepted all the time. You're going to be rejected. You got to have tough skin and be able to keep moving on.
Right.
And there's so many stories that can be told about how many times they were rejected, how many ways, and you know, and then these are stars. These are people who have made it to the top and have arrived and are doing what they need to do. But I imagine that we're probably talking to a lot of Christians, so you need to listen to what Ayana's saying, for real.
Yeah, I mean, but that part right there, Troy, is very important to highlight. It's critical to highlight, because it's just not in the music industry. The platform, different people are here what you guys are saying and be able to apply it to where they are in their life. Like anything that you're trying to obtain that's great, you're going to run into some type of rejection. I can say on my 9 to 5, every position that I went for within my 9 to 5, I didn't get. But every position that I went for in my 9 to 5 has also been removed from the company. So it's for me, of course, several months down the road or a year down the road, when things transition and when things happen, I can say, wow, God, that rejection was for my protection. Don't mean to sound, churchy, but it's like I'm still employed. I'm still able to do ministry. I'm still able to do, partnerships and community events, and I still have my 9 to 5. That's, kind of what allows me the freedom to do what I need to do, and it happens. And so, like I said earlier, we have to make sure that we do not allow that rejection to cause us to quit. And it's that purpose that keeps us going when things aren't going right, when things aren't going well and things aren't perfect. It's the purpose that allows us to, keep moving. So, we all need to hear that. I need to hear that even for, some new things that we're trying out. You know what I'm saying? That it happens. But at this point, I think people shouldn't be surprised, when things don't work out. I think
true.
It's part of the process. And as Percy just made a comment, Percy Robinson just made a comment on here that rejection is redirection. So
yeah.
Yes. Rejection is redirection.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good stuff, man. That's good stuff. And we need to know that. I saw something earlier. I think Trav was tagged in on it. It's like, the generation we're living in now, everybody wants pats on the back. And, it's hard for them to go through anything. It's like if they go through something or somebody pushed them, it's like, or disagree with them, there's like, oh, it's hate. No, it's not hate. Could it just be you're really not giving your best? Could it be that you can actually do more? Like, I love Ayana's testimony because she could have been satisfied where she was.
Absolutely.
She could have been satisfied. Troy, you could be satisfied where you are, but you guys know that there's more out there.
Yeah.
There's still a long way to go, much work to do. Troy, let me ask you a question. Let me start with you.
Yeah, even at my age.
Come on here. There you go. Even at your age.
Ageless.
Yeah, Troy, you're really drinking that youth serum, brother.
Right.
Oh,
come on, you.
If Black Don't Crack was a picture or was a person.
I don't know. I think Travis would disagree with you on that.
Don't do that.
Well, we know
he's always giving me a hard. He's always giving me a hard time. He's always.
We know what that is. So, Troy, if someone, like, just piggybacking off of what you just said, for if someone was just starting out and came to you for advice, what would you share with them? What type of advice would you give them if they're just starting out?
I understand. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Just starting out, I think the first and foremost, what is always most important is that you got to make sure you got the goods. That's the first thing. Ayana just said a few minutes ago, she believes, she knows, and we all know that she has the goods. I mean, she's good at what she does.
I didn't say all that.
Okay.
We're gonna back you up if you didn't.
She said, I think I'm pretty good at what I do. That's what she said.
I'm okay.
Right.
Nah.
That was the church humble way. That was the
as a witness. Right. That was No, I mean, in all honesty, you got to know that what you have is something that somebody wants to share, or that they want you to share it with them. You got to have some talent. No shade, but I'm just saying you can't believe that you're a great singer and you're not, or a great musician, or you got something. You got to have something to work with. But honestly, really just hone in on your craft, whatever that is, and make sure that you're presenting it in the best way. Be who you are,
Yeah.
Because you can't be nobody else, and just be the best person you can be. And honestly, and one of the things that I found in my experience is that you have to have a good attitude also. You got to know how to work with people. You got to know how to talk with people.
Yeah.
It's that's very important because in my experience, honestly, if you got three people who can do equally the same thing at the same level, you're gonna pick the one that's easy to work with, the one that's nice, the one that
Wow.
knows how to say what they're supposed to say when they're supposed to, and not say when they're not supposed to. I mean, know how to conduct yourself. Honestly, I just and network. In my time, when I was coming up, there were different ways to network. In this day and time, I pay a lot of attention to people like Travis because he's young and and he's working with this whole world of technology and social media. Put yourself out there and let the people see who you are.
Yeah.
Be able to witness who you really are and see if you got it for real.
Woo, that's right.
That was a little
See if you
shady.
got it for
That was a
real,
little
for
shady. That
real.
wasn't trying to be.
See if you got it for real, for real. I know you're good in your local area, but let's see if you got it to go outside of your area. There are people.
And you know what? Go ahead, Jason. I'm sorry, I didn't
No,
mean to cut you off.
that was. I'm glad you cut me off. That was probably the Holy Ghost.
But you know what? And talking to a lot of people, including the likes of Travis, and because we're dealing with a lot of his age group, people in his generation, millennials. I don't know what this thing is where everybody thinks that they have arrived to the point that I need to get this much money for this, and I need this accommodation, and this rider is accompanying my, attendance to this, whatever. It's so much. Like, humble yourself, for real, for real. I mean, I know Ayana's not as old as me, but she can go back a little further than Travis can, and you got to know, come on, that we didn't have that luxury. I'm sorry, and a lot of times that's why you're not getting called because you're making all these demands and you're not even there. Sorry, I'm gonna stop now.
No, that's good. Let's talk to it. So Trav or Ayana, wherever you want to chime in, this is important because I know we want to present ourselves professional. We want to make sure our writer is in place. We want to make sure our team is in place. But let's talk about that. Knowing your market, knowing how to be flexible and still get what you need. And as someone else as the preachers would say, you want to make sure that you get the call and then get the call back.
Get the call back,
because some people they may tolerate you one time, but I don't know if they'll tolerate, some people are leaving and then it's like, don't bring them back. So let's talk about ways to be professional. And then even starting off, because we're talking about starting off, ways to be professional starting off without outpricing yourself. Is there a method or approach someone can do? Because he talked about networking, relationship, which is valuable, and then the demand part. Like, how would you suggest that they navigate that part? I know it can get tricky. I don't know if it's management or if it's a team, but how would you suggest that?
First off, I would just, what's your intent? Why are you doing it? That's the first thing. I think when you know what your intention is and when you know what your purpose is, even for a given moment or a given event, then you can kind of gauge how you're going to handle that situation as far as the business. And there are, simple guidelines that you can follow. Like, you can ask, is it a ticketed event? Because people will, I'm just going to testify for a second.
Let's testify.
It's a testify / maybe a mini piece of rant, just a little. People will call. People, I've experienced situations where I've been called to do things, and they'll say, well, we don't have a budget, to pay you, and that 9 times out of 10, that wasn't an issue for me because I wasn't necessarily doing it for money, but was a little bit offensive because then I would find out it was a ticketed event. And then you would say, call me in June to tell me that the event is in October. So you mean between June and October, you can't put together a little couple of dollars for me? You don't have no budget between June and October, but you got tickets coming in. It becomes it can be a little offensive. And the Bible itself says a workman is worthy of his hire. So when you're coming to, when someone's coming to you to do a service for them, whether it's sing, play, preach, whatever, you're worthy of your hire. They're calling you for a reason. They're calling you because they think that you can carry out what it is that service needs, that you can bring something to what the atmosphere is in need of. So why not? And it doesn't have to be money, but we're in America. This is 2020. It's money these days. Okay. And, we're not giving goats and bulls, that's not how we exchange currency. That's what they did, in the Old Testament. Right. Now it's cash. So I just, I think that I'll just say people should just be more aware of that when they ask, people to come to their services or whatever the event is, and ask the singer or musician or preacher, whoever, just kind of use discretion and know what your intent is when you're saying yes, so that even if you're not getting the ideal, the ideal compensation, you'll still do it because your purpose is greater, or they that comes down to why, your why, period.
Right. It comes down to your why.
Mm-hmm.
Trav, how are you chiming in?
Before Travis comes in, I want to make one comment and I want to be clear because Ayana is so diplomatic and she's so sweet and with a big heart. And we understand. Love that about you, Ayana. I want to be clear that what I was referring to was about these newcomers who are not Ayana and who are not Purcell Robinson and Travis Taylor, who are, like Jason said, are just trying to start out. And they're starting out with all these demands. Now, Ayana can come in there with her rider and say, listen, this is what I need, 1, 2, 3, ABC. And I'm all for having your business together because I don't do what I'm asked to do unless the business is together. However, for all the people who are trying to get, you can't have so many demands if you're not in demand. And I'll stop there.
Woo. Okay. Well, that's it. That's it. Good night.
Sorry. Sorry, I just had to throw that in because I wanted to be clear what I was saying.
That was good though. That was good. That makes a lot of sense.
Very true. Very true. I just to piggyback off what Troy is saying, I'm only 32. I just turned 32, and I will 32. Say, even some people older than me, a little bit older and younger, they do feel like they've arrived, and they do feel like, they played for 3 choirs, local choirs at that they're now, you got to pay them $300 off the bat just to come play, and at this point, I still sing for free sometimes, even with the resume that I have. Jason can even back me up with this. There was somebody from Houston that asked me to come sing, and it's weird for me to tell people, at price. So I'll put it off, sometimes, to tell, I put it off on, a manager position type of person. And they came back to me, with the numbers, and I was like, "Oh, you sure you want to charge that much? Like, that's a lot." And, Jason was like, "But Trav, look at your resume. Look what you're doing. They're flying you out all the way, and they're asking for all of this. This is very minimal, for your caliber, I guess, as he claimed it to be. And Jason, I was looking at like, you sure? Like, you know why? Because like Ayana said, why are you doing this? What is your purpose of doing it? You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's more so I want to have the experience. Also, I do want to get paid, absolutely. But I want to have the experience. I want to, enjoy. I want to go share. You know what I'm saying? You got to really look at your intent why you're doing things. And to be honest with you, I didn't start asking or demanding money until recently. Mind you, I have been singing since I was 4. And you know what I'm saying? So people have to also keep that in mind. I remember Troy told me many, many years ago, put your time in. And many people, haven't put their time in. They haven't, I sang for many, many years for free, or getting robbed, or, just doing it because I wanted the experience. You know what I'm saying? People saying, oh, I'm going to pay you. And I'm bringing a whole band and singers over the bridge to get to their church and their concert, only to sing one song. And then they say, oh, I'm going to pay you after service. Hold on. I got the offering. Let me come back. And me and my singers is waiting. We sitting there. Service is over. Oh no, I'm gonna give it to you on Monday, because that's when, back to you, Jason, I worked at Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield when I had a job, a regular job. And they were like, oh no, I'm going to meet you downtown North to bring you your money. And that never happened. And that was a long time ago. So put your time in. That's what I say to newcomers.
Yeah.
Put your time in. Put your time in.
So let me ask you guys this. So and is that a part of the experience? Doing it and then getting stiffed. That happens. Meaning, I'm not saying is I'm saying, should we be totally shocked? It seems like almost everyone that has been in the singing arena, that has happened to them once or twice during their process.
Absolutely.
I would say it happened a lot more than once or twice. You've been not in the gospel music, not with the church world. No, it's happened many times. But honestly, I don't deal with that kind of situation like I used to. But I think anybody that you talk to, any musician, any vocalist, when in the church world, will tell you that they have been through it, raped, taken advantage of, bounce checks, no checks. I mean, what Travis was just talking about, that's not an unusual situation.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. But then as you mature and as you grow, then you learn how to handle your business, so you don't have to go through that sort of thing. But
absolutely,
it's typical. It's unfortunate.
And you get a secular music job, and you don't have problems with getting your money on time. No shame at all.
Hey, we talking facts today. We're talking facts today.
I'm definitely talking facts, because I know that there is and has been a stigma placed on singers and musicians that work in the secular world, in secular music outlet. And what people have to understand is, yes, we love God and we're Christians. That's who we are.
Yeah.
But what we're doing, we still have to provide. We still have to provide for our family. We still have to eat. So if you're, singing praise and worship, or working at a church, and there is no income, and you can't supplement, if you don't have a regular job, then you have to find other means of making an income. And I don't think that anybody that's from the church that is working in secular music should be looked down upon, because this is what we do. In addition, people are the first to say your gift will make room for you. But when your gift makes room for you outside of the church building, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
If anything, pray for us. Pray for those of us that
Absolutely.
are singing with secular artists or working with secular artists. Pray for us that arena, that world will not swallow us up, that we can stay saved and we can stay focused and stay sanctified in the midst of that, so that we can continue to provide and bring a tithe into the storehouse. You know,
Absolutely.
I don't even know why I felt led to say that, but I just want us to have a little more mercy, show a little more grace when it comes to that.
Yeah, and absolutely. And I just want to share something for everybody that's listening. Doing music can be a job.
Yes.
I know traditionally we have put it in different categories, but it is a means of income and it is a life for people. And we have to respect that.
Yes.
We have to respect that this is what they do for a living. Promoters, pastors, preachers, anybody, event coordinators, anybody that's calling these guys in, these guys, this is their livelihood. Do not respect one office or one industry over the other. Period. Like you say you want something secure, 2020 jobs aren't secure.
Right.
So we're all out here trying to do what we believe we've been called to do and follow our passions, as so many people are encouraging us to do. So let's respect a person, an individual, when they're putting in their time, when they're investing in their gifts, and they have, as they say, skin in the game. Let's make sure we're respecting them and understand that they are worthy of their heart. Two last questions, and then we can close this out. One, all of you guys have so much experience. How have you been able to keep yourself relevant and employable?
I'm relevant. I don't even know how to answer that. Well, keep yourself employable by, I'll go back to what Troy said. Be good at what you're doing. Also, I mean, specifically for people that are looking to go into singing backgrounds, have a good work ethic. And even if you're an art, you know, you're a solo artist, have a good work ethic. Like, know how to put that time in and be serious about your craft. And be authentic, be yourself. I support people that are themselves and that I feel connected to. And I think that when you are you will remain relevant because people will continue to, you know, be drawn to you.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Troy, you chiming in?
Honestly, I'm gonna ditto everything that Ayana said. That's what I would have said. Basically, your work ethic, of course, first and foremost, be good at what you do. I mean, and
well, Troy, with that, be good at what you do.
That's
I'm just saying.
Make sure you
I'm
got
just
the goods.
saying, you know.
You have to have the goods, Troy saying. You have to have something.
Thank you, Travis.
I want to say this. Not to piggyback off of to piggyback off what Troy was saying, but it still applies to this question. To keep yourself relevant, to keep yourself still going and moving, you got to keep up with the times. One, you know, social media is very, very big right now, and the craziest thing is that I hate singing at a camera and recording myself. I hate it. 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 Like seriously, like it's the worst. So for people, when I see them just singing all day long to cameras, I applaud them because it's really like a frightening thing for me. Many people don't know that, but I hate it. So when people tag you in challenges, and that's another thing, when they tag you in challenges, it's like almost like you almost kind of have to do it to stay with the times, or you know, for you know, just Yanni hates them. But see, the difference between Ayana and many other people, she can post Jesus, I love you and just, you know, and that's considered the challenge. Amen. Praise God.
Here's my response to your challenge.
Right.
But you know, but I will say to piggyback off what Troy said is you have to be likable. People have to like you. They have to want to work with you. And you know, we work in an industry that people have to like you. Your talent can be amazing. Your gifting, your playing, your instrument. You know, everybody. I've heard many people say, "Oh my God, they're amazing," but I can't stand them. So call somebody else.
Right.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
and it's really, and it's based off of relationships. If you don't have a relationship with people, if you're not friends with people, genuine, you know what I'm saying? Everybody hates an opportunist. So if the opportunist thing is in you, get it out.
Right.
Because people see it from people see the opportunist thing from afar.
Mm-hmm.
But when genuine connections just happen, you know, it's just really like authentic and it's amazing.
Yeah.
But again, for example, if the likes of a Ayana George or a Troy Bright call you and say, "Hey, I want you to come sing," this is a prime example. Do it. Go. And this is for people old, young. You know what I'm saying? Because one, they're reputable people. They have, you know, good characters. They represent good things. And so don't hit them with well, how much is it paying? Because many people hit you with that off the bat. I gotta be like, "Hey, there's a gig coming up. Well, how much is it?" Before you even say yes, before you say, "All right, cool. What is it about?" You know, like, why do people do that? And a lot of young people do that nowadays. You say, "Hey, I need you to come play."
Yeah.
Well, how much is it? First of all, you didn't even know if I was asking you to come play for Diddy. All I asked was, were you available? But you hit me with the how much is it? You know what I'm saying? So watch those. You know, no, seriously, watch those.
I get it.
Watch those because I've gotten many calls that way.
Yeah.
Trav, hey, there's a gig coming up. Or how about this? Trav, are you available on this day? Maybe. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? And then they say, "Oh, it's a gig. You got to be there between 9 and 5 o'clock. Are you available? Well, how much is it paying?" That's a clear sign of next.
Yeah.
So that's another way, you know, to to keep that up. There's been many times when Ayana has called me, many times when I've called people and I hit you up like, "Hey, are you available?" Just say I'm available or not. Don't hit them with the money thing, and you know, because that's when you get chopped really fast.
And it don't be no trash opportunities. It's good stuff.
Absolutely.
You for something.
Tell them, Ayana, it's good stuff with royalty checks later on.
Hey guys, I want
see
to.
when you have a relationship like that, then you know if Ayana calls me or if Travis calls me, it's not going to be a bad situation.
Right.
If she asks me if I'm available because I know she's not presenting me with some junk.
Right.
Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
That's good stuff.
I remember, and just to say this too, Troy, he worked what he does in his regular job. He asked me to come sing for an HIV awareness event a few years ago actually. And you know, me just knowing what he represents, I said sure. Before I even asked what the amount was. You know what I'm saying? Sure, I'll come sing. Sure. Then he let me know how much it was, and I was like, "Oh, I'll be there every year." So, you know what I'm saying? I'll be there every year. Call me. I'm available. I don't have, you know, no offense to anybody else, but you know, some people might say, "Oh, well, I don't have HIV, so I don't want to go sing." Don't be a fool. Do not be a fool. Because somebody said that to me. It was like, "Do you have HIV? Because you always sing at this event." And so that's why I started. That's why I started posting.
You crushing, Trav. You crushing. You crushing right now.
I had to post that like, "I do not have HIV, but go get tested." You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
because
that's
people
good.
will ask crazy questions.
That's good. That's good stuff.
Sometimes it's more than money. A lot of times it's more than money. Sometimes the blessing is a relationship that can be cultivated, or the fact that
Absolutely.
or the fact that there is some exposure there. People that never heard of you now know who you are. I've been in situations where there wasn't a lot of money involved. There may not have been any money involved, but I ended up in a room with millionaires, or I ended up in a room with people who were on Broadway and made connections and, and opportunities then developed from that. So it's not always about what are they paying or what am I getting out of it. Sometimes just be in the room, just get in the room.
There you go. Get in the room. It's funny you said that. I was working with an artist locally, and we did this event. When they told us what they could do, it was really like whatever. It was just, all right, cool, we'll do it. About a month later, the artist called me and said, Jay, they booked me full quote, and they ordered over 200 units of my CD already. They were going to give it out as party gifts, party favors. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody would have got stuck that they didn't give you, your quote on this event, but that one situation, it's like, hey, yo, I could kind of like do a next one for free because
right. You did on
the
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So anybody can answer this, and then we're gonna close out. Somebody asks, how can you stay relevant when you're just starting out? I don't know if that's or how can you be relevant just starting out? I guess it would be relevant, not stay relevant.
Right.
How can you, when you're just starting out, how can you be relevant?
How can you be? I would say make sure you get, relationships are key. And that's just for me. Relationships are key outside of the talent, obviously. Have something to offer people that they like, And one thing I've noticed, your image is very important. Many people kind of, skate over that. And they have the goods, but their image is not what people want to really look at, or they're not really interested. It has nothing to do with weight. You can be big and still be fly. You can be small and still be fly. So, don't let that hinder you. But I will say image is very, very important. I will say for me, even in New York City, I've gotten gigs or things like that, or people remembered me because of how I was dressed.
Yeah.
Because of how I was dressed. They remember me. And just to answer that, I don't know if you guys know of a guy named Ben Harper. He's a country singer. He's won a few Grammys. He's wrote many hits. I sing.
Travis, you're breaking up. He's breaking up, but he was about to share something with us. We'll see. Oh, hold on. Oh, he can't hear me. So not sure which story he was about to share, but we'll give him a few seconds to see if he comes back on. But to that person, Troy, you gave a response earlier, bro, that I'm just carrying with me for the rest of my life. Make sure you got the goods. We're gonna start there. Before
honestly, and I want to make sure that was not that didn't come across as shady, because that wasn't the intention at all.
No,
I mean,
it wasn't. That was facts.
Mm-hmm.
That was because, again, you have your little jokes in the house, and they'd be like, "Oh, you should be a comedian," and then you leave the house and find out you're not funny. You know what I'm saying? Jason Nelson coined it last week as, you got to do more than carry a line or be able to sing a note. You know what I mean? So some people can sing a note and think that they can sing, and like you said, you gotta have the goods. You gotta have the goods, bro. I think that was really, really good and something to take away. Trav, you back? Oh, okay,
he's trying to get back.
Come on.
It looks like.
But I didn't think that was
come through, Travis.
I didn't think that was shady at all. I think that was that helped me because,
It's
sometimes having these events, you get calls from people like, yo, I want to put so-and-so on. And you looking at, well, people are used to a certain quality, when whoever we have hit the stage. And if you just ask me to put somebody on, but they can't, carry, their weight, then, that puts a mark on, the events that I do or anybody would do. So I think that's a good one, man. Make sure you got the goods. Make sure, when you get to the stage that you don't fold. Like some people, again, like I said, they're good in their comfort zone, but when you move them outside of that, they get stage fright. Okay.
Who's that?
He's back. I think he's back.
Sorry. What did I miss? I'm sorry.
Oh no, we didn't hear you when you
were
started
talking about
the
Ben Harper.
Yeah, you were saying Ben Harper.
Did you? Oh, so
we didn't hear
sang
nothing
with him.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. Oh, wow. So I was saying, Ben Harper, he's a Grammy Award winner. He's a country singer and all of those, soul singer, etc. I had a gig with him a few years ago on David Letterman. I sang background, and when I posted the Throwback Thursday picture, he said, "Oh my God, he didn't recognize my face necessarily, but he remembered the jacket that I had on." And he said, "Oh my God, I remember that jacket. I remember you. I remember you." So that was just to piggyback off of my point of image is key. Always remember, people are watching, even if you don't think that they're watching.
Yeah.
And, that built a relationship between me and him. And he calls me all the time, and he was like, "I need you to." He was doing a promo run for his album. He said, "I need you and two singers to come." And when I tell you, he blessed me so much from just the promo runs with him.
Yeah.
Rehearsals was like $300, $400. He was like, "Here, no, take it, because no, seriously, it was such a life-changing experience with him. The gigs, we did so many gigs that weekend, and I was just like, thank you, Lord, for him. You know what I'm saying? But he remembered my jacket. He remembered my jacket. So image is key. Always remember that. That will help you stay relevant.
That is
good stuff. That is very true. Good stuff. Good stuff.
We know Mr. Taylor is going to always serve us garments.
Oh yes.
Let's talk. Come on here. Tell the truth.
I don't hear nobody.
But yo, man, this has been absolutely great. Ayana, if you can leave one thing with somebody from everything that you said today, if you can leave one thing with somebody.
Do it afraid.
Wow.
Do it afraid.
Wow.
I like that, Ayana.
Whatever it is that scares you, if it's not going to end you up in hell, the hospital, or dead, do it. Do it.
Wow. That's what's up.
Troy?
That's what's up. I like that.
That was amazing.
Be nice to the people.
That is good.
Be nice to everybody. Just leave them with a warm feeling in their heart about who you are.
Yeah.
So that when you show your talent, people are drawn to more than just that. It's like, show them who you are as a person.
Wow, good stuff. Travis?
Put your time in.
Put your time in.
I think I'm at a place where, even though I have been, I've I think every experience that I've had singing behind every different person, I've learned something new. And, a new work ethic. Working with Tamar was one of the most crucial and hardest times. Like Ayana, it was like working for John. It was like scary because I was learning choreography. We were practicing night and day. So going from being, a good singer, now, okay, singing ain't just it. Now you have to dance. So all of those days of musical theater in high school had to come into play now, maybe 10 years, 8 years later. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I learned so much being with that. And then now singing with Kurt Carr, it's just like, you don't become a legend without putting in your time. And putting in your time, you gain that experience of just so many things, so many areas. You mature. And so that's what I'll say. Put in your time.
Awesome, guys. Listen, thank you so much for your time today. There's so much more we can talk about. I know some of the stuff
Go ahead.
We didn't touch on, but I know that there's more to you. Listen, guys, follow Ayana on Instagram. It is Ayana. Is it underscore is?
Yes.
Ayana underscore is. Travis is the with 2 E's. THEE. Travis Taylor. And Troy is T Roy Bright? T Roy TEE. T Roy Bright.
Yes.
He ain't barely on there.
T Roy Bright.
I'm gonna do better. I'm doing better.
He's gonna do better. He said he's gonna do better
in this season.
Oh, really? Okay.
Man, so let me pray out with you guys, and then we're gonna let the people go. But we'll be back, guys. We'll be back for some more dialogue and conversations, because I mean, we're in quarantine, probably be here another couple of weeks. We'll see what the environment talking about. Ayana is starring. I said starring. Ayana is starring or playing in the new Michael Jackson show. So when Broadway opens back up, go see Ayana.
Yes.
Go see her. She's not just a singer. She does more.
Me and Travis will be right there.
That's right.
Can you tell us about that, Ayana, please? Or we don't have enough time. I'm sorry.
Tell you what you want to know.
Like about the experience so far with that. Like,
oh my god. Yeah, we would be here like.
Do we have time, Jason, or no?
So we gotta come back. We're gonna come back. We're gonna reschedule to bring this back, because again, man, there's so much more. Because remember, we had that whole conversation about resting during the quarantine, and kind of reinventing yourself in so many other ways. It's just, oh man. But yo, we coming back with these guys.
Interrupt. I just want to say thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. You're welcome, man. I had to. That conversation was just too good not to share with people. And I think for me, sometimes, like when I talk to people, they think I'm just bugging. They think like Jay don't know what he's talking about, but it's just I get so much when we're around other people who do what we do well. You and other people don't have access to you guys and your thought process. They see you guys on stage and they like, oh, they're so gifted, but they didn't know you had the testimony you had. And you guys bring so much more life and experience that can help people in whatever industry that they're in. And so I'm grateful for you. We definitely gonna have y'all back. I don't know how this works. Like I said, you said do it afraid. That's how this whole interviewing thing started. A friend suggested it, and it was just like, all right, we're gonna do it. And first week, crazy technical difficulties. The wife was looking at me like, why you mad? Or are you mad? I'm like, no, I'm not mad. But inside I was kind of mad. Like I ain't had nothing to say for the rest of the day. She was calling me out the whole time. But, we came back and we revamped some things.
Came back.
And, here we are. Yeah. So I'm going to pray with you guys.
Redirecting.
There you go. That was it. Redirecting.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here, man, and we're going to do our best to make it happen and keep going. So, Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for Troy. We thank you for Ayana. We thank you for Travis. Father, we know now that there is no experience that is to be wasted. Everything that you have allowed each and every one of us to go through, God, it was it is to have a testimony, God, that we may touch someone's life, that we may show them who you are in us and through us. And so we thank you for this day. Continue to touch them, bless them, everything that they put their hands to do, prosper it. And we thank you. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Do me a favor, guys. Go to iTunes. Ayana has songs. Travis has songs. Troy, you got songs on iTunes or digital?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, that was prophecy. Travis speaking.
Yes.
Travis speaking.
Make sure you hold him to it. Hold him to it. Hold him to it.
Come on, Bright.
Travis, you said you're the prophet. You said when you speak it, it happens. I need you to speak it right
I'm
now.
a witness.
When I speak,
Travis
when I see something, I see it so vividly. And
It's
I will
true.
say,
It's true.
Troy, I do speak music from you. I do speak, and just it's just me. I speak a piano situation with you and a piano. You know, and you know, he has so many different sides to him. Many people don't know he started a group too. He had a few singers behind him, and you know, many people know him as a singer, but they don't know that he plays. And then on top of that, he's one of the most prolific directors, vocal teachers that I've ever been under. When I tell you, I thought I was a singer, and I came to his rehearsal. I'm like, I'm gonna get it. And when I tell you, he was like, "That's not the note. That's not it. Raise your pitch. Raise your."
Troy. Somebody commenting, Troy.
Yeah, that's right. Inland Henderson, we've been waiting forever.
What? I had to post this one, Troy.
Yes, come on, Bright.
Good.
So Troy should be releasing something this year.
Oh,
come on! Corona can't stop nothing here.
Corona can't stop nothing.
Corona ain't got nothing on Troy.
I'll pay for 2 hours studio time. I got 2 hours. I got 2 hours.
Wow.
Come on here.
I pay for this too.
We sewing. Even if you don't need it, we sewing. I'm trying to sew into good ground today.
Yes.
Come on. Look at this.
God bless you all. God bless you all.
I'm not sewing, but I'm gonna be there. Troy don't need my money. He got coins. Troy got coins. I don't need my money.
Shut up, Travis.
Yo, love y'all guys, man. We'll definitely continue this. We'll set it up after this was over. Love y'all, man. Appreciate it. Everybody have a good day.
Thank you, Jason. Love you.
Thank you, Jason.
Love you, bro.
Bye, Ayana. You love you.